Welcome to the Explainer. There's a massive amount of value in the Cardano ecosystem that's just locked up. It's sitting idle in what we call Cardano Native Tokens, or CNTs. So today, we're going to look at a brand new protocol that's designed to put all of that capital right back to work.
So let's just start with this question. If you're holding tokens like SNEC or Bodega or any of the others, you've probably thought about this. I mean, these assets are sitting right there in your wallet, but what if they could be doing more? What if you could actually use them to get liquidity without having to sell?
To really get a sense of just how big this opportunity is, look at this number. Now that 13 million ADA, that's not the total value across the whole ecosystem. Nope, that's the value of just one token, SNEC, that's currently locked up in loans. We're talking millions in untapped potential for a single asset. So just imagine scaling that across all the other CNTs out there. It's huge.
So why is this so urgent right now? Well, it's because a pretty recent event created this major hole in the market, and it left a really critical piece of Cardano's DeFi world offline. A lot of you probably remember Lenfi V2. It was really popular, had a great product market fit, and let people borrow ADA against their snake. It was doing great, growing fast, but a vulnerability was found, and they had to pause the whole protocol indefinitely. And just like that, a huge vacuum was left behind for all the users who really came to depend on that service.
And into that vacuum steps a new project with this very bold, very direct statement from their team. It's a crystal clear declaration of what they're here to do. This one sentence just flips the whole story from, here's the problem, right over to, here's the solution.
And that solution is Flow. It's a new pooled lending protocol. The key thing here is that it's being built by experienced Cardano insiders specifically to solve this problem. They aren't just building something cool for the sake of it. They're delivering something the ecosystem has already proven it desperately needs. So here's the quick rundown on what Flow offers. First off, instant pooled lending. So no more waiting around for peer-to-peer matches. The idea is to create deep liquidity markets and real practical utility for your day-to-day DeFi stuff. And to build trust, all the code is open source, and they've already got key partnerships lined up with big names like SNEC, Bodega, Strike, and USDM. The project's goals are super clear and focused. For you, the user, it's about unlocking all that trapped value in your CNTs and getting them some real use. It also means getting a simple, fast product you can actually use every day, not some overly complicated system. And for the community, it's about pushing the whole ecosystem forward by committing to open source code. All right, so we get the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. How does Flow actually work under the hood? Okay, the core safety net for the whole protocol is this idea called over-collateralized lending. And honestly, it's pretty simple. You just have to lock up assets that are worth more than the loan you want to take out. This is what protects lenders and the entire system from bad debt, even if the market gets a little shaky. The whole user experience is designed to be incredibly simple. It's really just 3 steps. First, you deposit your tokens, like SNEC or ADA, as collateral. Second, you borrow another asset against it, like ADA or USDM. And finally, when you're done, you just repay the loan plus a little interest, and you get your original tokens right back. Okay, let's make this real. Imagine you deposit 1 million SNEC tokens. Let's say SNEC is priced at 0.005 ADA. That means your collateral is worth 5,000 ADA. The protocol will then let you safely borrow against that, say 2,500 ADA, which you can then use for whatever you want. Staking, buying other tokens, you name it. And the best part? You never had to sell your original SNEC. But Flow also lets you pull off some more advanced strategies. For example, you could deposit your ADA to borrow a stablecoin like USDM. Then you could take that USDM and immediately use it to buy more ADA. If ADA's price goes up, boom, you've amplified your gains. It's a way to go long on ADA, using the ADA you already own as leverage. Pretty cool, right? So the tech looks solid, but let's be real. In DeFi, a project is only as strong as its team and their plan to actually ship product. So let's take a look at who's building Flow and what their roadmap looks like. And this team, well, it's stacked with Cardano veterans. The lead, Phil, he's a true Cardano OG. Been in the space since 2017 as a stake pool operator and engineer. The lead dev, Suzuki, is the one who built the smart contracts for Bodega Market, which is one of the most used dApps on Cardano. And on top of that, they're being advised by the founders of Strike Finance and Bodega Market. These guys know Cardano inside and out.
Their roadmap isn't some vague, long-term promise. It's focused, and it's aggressive. For Q2 of 2025 alone, they're planning to open source the code, launch a public testnet, get an external audit, and launch the V1 mainnet. This is all about near-term delivery, with V2 bringing even more features later in the year. So when you put it all together, what does a project like Flow mean for the bigger picture? What does this signal for the future of decentralized finance on Cardano? You know, this final quote from the team's light paper just captures their whole mission perfectly. After months of a gap in the market, with all this capital just sitting on the sidelines, the goal is simple: unlock it. It's about creating movement, creating efficiency, and creating new opportunities. It's about letting the capital flow. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most exciting question of all. Flow is really aiming to be a foundational piece, something for others to build on. So with potentially billions in capital that's been idle about to be activated, what's next? What new apps, what new strategies, what new innovations will get built on top of this new liquid foundation? What will that next layer of Cardano DeFi even look like? It's a pretty exciting future to think about. Thanks for watching The Explain.